Greetings and salutations, everyone! My name is Fire Mage, and welcome back to Rimworld Ascension Take 2, Episode 41. If you enjoy this episode, please remember to like and subscribe, and as always, mod list is down in the description. And with that, let's get on to the episode. Alright, well, picking up where we left off last time, what are my plans for today? Well, first things first, we will be fueling up the old mule and sending it out on our first trading mission with a vehicle. Of course, we will be sending Blackjack on that, but Blackjack is kind of on the verge of a mental breakdown, so we're going to wait until he's a little higher in mood to do that. We will also be finishing up the air cooling system, which we will be putting on the list. Because not only will we be doing these 6 houses up here, but we will also need to do these ones over here, probably the guest houses, definitely the hospital, and definitely the prison. But all of that will take steel, so we gotta wait for that. On top of all of that, I will also be hopefully getting some more uniforms done, which also should probably be put on the list. There we go. So now our list is updated. Since we're almost out of stone bricks as well, I think we are going to go ahead and expand the storage shelves a little bit, like so. Mainly because we need a place to properly store all this leather. We got a lot of the stuff just kind of sitting around, not doing a whole lot. And we're actually going to go ahead and disassemble these slate shelves. Just make a little bit of space there. Very interesting. So I was just looking at the mule while it's being refueled, and I noticed that we actually have quite a few options here for upgrades. Now, some of these would be very useful, such as all of these expanded cargo space options. Some less useful, like reinforced armor. The mule should never be in the line of fire. Let's see, so most of these only require steel. A handful of them require car parts. All the more reason for us to go and buy some steel. Speaking of which, it looks like Blackjack is still not in the best mental state, but it is good enough. Blackjack, please go put on the trading outfit. There we go. And let's see how exactly we tell the truck to move. Alright, so the first thing we're going to try to do is form a vehicle caravan. That seems to work. Okay, and we will send Blackjack as the driver. And that is 600 kilos worth of mass. Now, we will be sending the bison as well, which gives us additional mass. We will be selling the bison, as we no longer need them, strictly speaking. Make sure we load up all of the money. And what do we have that we can sell? Well, let's start by taking all of the weapons we don't really need anymore. See if we can't sell them off. Keep the good ones, though. Definitely gonna try to sell off that auto rifle for the war casket. A bunch of clothes that we most certainly do not need, taking up all of our space. There we go. And let's see. I believe that is just about everything I am willing to part with. We can get rid of some of our more esoteric animal supplies that we don't need. Really, I just want to keep the plain leather, since that stuff is quite easy to come by. We'll keep the, we'll keep just the plain leather. Everything else we can load up to sell. And let's make sure we take some simple grills, just so that we have some food for the road. And that is just about all we need. And it looks like this is the range of our truck. Not as far as I would like, but it's farther than I was expecting. Let's go ahead and accept that route. Oh, hold on a second. Oh, I see. I see what the problem is. So, the truck, in order to go in that direction, needs to leave over here, and the truck can't actually get over here because, well, it can't fit through the small gap. Very interesting. Very interesting. I think I have a solution for that. So let's go ahead, reload everything that we just loaded. Alright, so here is my genius idea. We'll start by sending the truck out this way, and then have it loop up and around. No, still inaccessible. Interesting. What if we do this? Interesting. So it is registering all of that as inaccessible. Let's see if we can't find out why. Or maybe it's the garage door. And... Alright, so it is able to move properly now. Alright, so I think I fixed it. Let's go ahead and try that again. Make sure we do everything just the same as the first attempt at the caravan. Alright, there we go. Problem solved. Turns out the issue was just that the garage door was closed. A simple problem with a simple fix. Oh, and it looks like the heat wave is over. Well, good timing, but I'm still going to finish up the air conditioning system. Although it's not technically needed anymore, better to just get it built so that if that happens again, we don't have to worry about it. Oh, and it looks like a band of thugs is demanding money from us. Well, last time I said no, I got absolutely obliterated. However, I believe the fire home of that is a tribal nation, which means guns are going to be quite effective against them. So I'm going to go ahead, and despite my better judgment telling me not to, I'm going to refuse that offer. And just to make sure I didn't completely screw myself, let's go ahead and check the factions. Yup, Savage Impid Tribe. Meaning they will be coming at us with literal sticks and stones, if we're lucky. Alright, in that case, White, I'm gonna need you to get a gun. We don't really have anything too interesting. However, we do have a rocket launcher and a super shotgun. Super shotgun will be your primary, and a rocket launcher just in case, you know, they want to try something. And geothermal power is done, which will allow us to begin the process of generating enough power for the next research project, which is the ENIAC. And let's go ahead and see what all we need to do to fit a geothermal generator. Oh dear, that's going to be a lot. I was expecting to have to move some stuff, but wasn't expecting it to be that much. Well, we'll worry about that later. We'll go ahead and put that on the list so I don't forget. There we go. Probably not going to be getting that done this episode, but at least it's on the list to get done later. In the meantime, though, since we won't be doing that, I think we need to do some stuff with alcohol production. Now, I think an alcohol production building should go right up here, but of course there is the sauna up here already, which means we're going to need to move the sauna. Or, actually, now that I'm looking at this, we don't really need a large building. for the alcohol production. So we could feasibly set up a simple little shed like this. Be going with whiskey production. And we will only be able to fit a single keg in this building, but that should be good enough for now. Well, it would seem that our truck, now that it is fully loaded, is having some issues. For some reason, it's trying to leave the map over here, which it cannot path to. Which is, of course, a problem, because it can't leave now. Which is rather annoying. Alright, I think the quicker method to do this is going to simply be to open up here. Then we just do this. Grab our 2 miners, and send them up here to start mining all that. Let's see, who all can even do some sort of mining? Let's make sure we send everyone who's capable of mining up here to mine. And there we go. The mountain pass has been opened, and that should mean that the mule is capable of going. Get out of the way, Silveranus. And there it goes. And Blackjack has arrived at Tusla. Let's go ahead and get to trading. First off, get rid of all the animals. Then sell off all the leathers. And finally, the ridiculous amount of poor quality weapons we have. And then the clothes. And that nets us a very nice profit of 3,095 silver, which is a little under double the amount of money they actually have available here. Well, first things first, we are going to buy that flak vest. One less that we have to craft. Will not complain about that. Let's see, do they have any interesting weapons for sale? It does not appear that they do. We'll also go ahead and buy a radio. Why not? Less stuff for us to have to craft. They have an Archaeotech arm here, apparently. Very tempting. Very tempting. But we shall not. Let's see. Okay, this time let's make sure we buy industrial explosive and industrial special ammo. And you know what? We'll buy the normal stuff too. Why not? Last time we kept trying to buy the stuff, we kept getting the spacer stuff, so let's make sure it's industrial. We are also running low on medicine. We'll go ahead and buy that. And finally, steel. Oh, we can buy all their steel. Well, that's a first. The wonders of having 600 kilograms of storage capacity. And that is just about all of our money, actually. Looks like we have a handful left, which I guess we could use to try and snag a singular component. I could also get some chickens, but don't think we need birds. And I'd say that was a most profitable trade. And now we send the caravan on back home, and it'll be back in 0.3 days. And Blackjack has returned on the mule. Very good. Let's go ahead and get that driving. Oh. And it actually can't make it back because guess what? It came up on the bottom of the map. And we don't have a bridge that it can cross to get to the top. Well, that raises a good question. Do we build a bridge down here, which admittedly will force it to drive a longer route, but keep a bridge away from the trench network, or do we build one over here, which is a shorter distance and is closer to the base, which will allow it to transfer over faster, but will also allow the enemies to run over it? Well, I think the most optimal strategy is in fact going to be to build a bridge down here and have it drive up and around. Simply because I don't want them to have a quick path over to the trench network. So for the bridge, we'll do a little something like this. That should be plenty big enough. Constructors, get constructing. We have 5 people who can do construction, and they will hopefully get that done as quick as possible. And we'll go ahead and bring the mule over here anyway, just so that it can get crossing the bridge as quick as possible. Oh, and there is a raid coming from the Orange Lagoon. And that is a lot of people with a lot of guns. That's 61 enemies. Big yikes. Well, I am going to do a funny. It's called I Cast Raid Pause. Hopefully this time it actually works. Also, let's go ahead and immediately start drafting everyone and sending them inside. Preferably the long way. Carry, please. Please. Please cast faster. Ah! It worked! It worked! All 61 of them are frozen in place. For hopefully 5 minutes. Okay, that buys us a lot of time. More importantly, I think we're probably going to hit them in the face with a rocket launcher. Now, it says that it is a mortar shell. So we're probably going to want to aim for the largest congregation of them in order to do as much damage as possible. In the meantime, though, everyone who is not going to run at them with a rocket launcher, please make your way over to the trench network. Oh, wait, what? Why are they moving? They should still be frozen. Nothing attacked? Is it just because there's so many of them? I do not know. Come on, Carrie. You got it. So, Vranis, get in the mule. There we go. No, don't fire, Carrie. Don't fire. Just get back to running. That is a lot of guys. Actually, you know what? We should probably, now that I'm thinking about it, grab our armor. At least for a handful of our people. And they're on the move again. Okay. Alright, let's get the truck a-running. And get it away from the enemy. Quickly, please. And unfortunately, we can't do another raid pause. That took all of our psi focus. Actually, what if we send White down here to pop out and shoot a rocket launcher at them? Because there is a lot of guys right there. In fact, we're actually going to go ahead and just shove the truck way up here. Yep, here they all come. Alright, White. Get on the bridge. Actually, can you start moving across the water? The closer we can get, the better in this case. Oh, maybe not, actually. They are about to cross. Alright. Stand in the door. And I have the rocket launcher ready to fire. Alright. I think that's probably about as gathered up as they're gonna get. Aim. And fire at will. And now get out of there. Wow, that took out a very good chunk of them. Carrie, go get on the trench. Actually, you, with a relatively short-range gun, will go right there. Actually, no. Better idea. Man the heavy machine gun complex. Oh, they are trying to break down that door. New idea. Repair the door. Or don't, because they are about to break in. Tox gas, maybe? Well, we are still going to try and use the trench network. And Vera, we are going to lock you in there. And as soon as the child gets in here, we will lock this door as well. Very good. This is gonna be a very scary fight. Alright, Bella Rose is getting shot. Toss out some tox gas. Ah, the small trading caravan is engaging as well. Alright, Skypanese, go tend to carry. Blackjack, hit this guy. Heavy machine guns. Alright, that's another guy down. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, what? They're retreating already? But there's still like 28 of them. Wait, 28? Oh. Looks like a bunch of them died to bleeding out. Guess that rocket launcher did more damage than I anticipated. Well, I won't argue with that. That's what you get for not wearing armor, fools. Yeah, that's right. Run away. Okay, well. That went a lot better than it had any right to. Let's see. Is there anyone to capture? Yes. There is Senga here. Death in 8 hours. Oh. Wow, that's quite reasonable, actually. Blackjack, if you could, please, start making your way on down to capture that person. That would be lovely. And now we get all those free guns. Lovely. And now we go and start taking off all of our glorious armor. Put everything back where it goes. Well, all in all, I'd say that was very successful. And apparently the mule is out of fuel? Oh. Apparently they shot my truck a whole bunch. Silveranus, I completely forgot you were even in there. Well, that's annoying that they shot my truck. Gonna have to repair it now. Silveranus, why don't you go ahead and try to start hauling some of that stuff on back. Oh, and now the child's going on a Goju binge. Lovely. Alright, and I think I'm gonna be leaving this episode off here. We made a lot of good progress today, namely in figuring out how vehicles work. Unfortunately, due to that ridiculously large raid, the mule is now kinda dead in the water, because apparently they decided to shoot it a bunch before they left. Speaking of that giant raid, now we know. Rocket launchers. Very good for killing a lot of people, and apparently ending large raids rather quickly. Because nobody died to a 60-some person raid. And speaking of the raiders, Mr. Senga here is definitely going to be getting recruited. They are very passionate about cooking, and that is what we need. Other than that, though, we didn't get to finish any of our projects, but we are almost done with the uniforms. Just a little bit more on that, and it will be done. With all that said and done, though, I will see you all in the next episode.